नीलाद्रौ शङ्खमध्ये शतदल कमले रत्नसिंहासनं सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तं नवघनरुचिरं संयुक्तं चाग्रतेन भद्राया वामभागे रथचरणयुतं ब्रह्मरुद्रेन्द्रं सेव्यं देवानां सारमेशं सुजन परिवृतं ब्रह्मदारु नमामि। जय जगन्नाथ। এই আকাশ সমুদ্র মাটি পানি তথা মଣିষ জগতর ষষ্ঠ পরম কারুণিক শ্ରୀ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥଙ୍କର ଚରଣ କମଳରେ ମୋର କୋଟି କୋଟି ପ୍ରଣାମ। Now I request all my friends, viewers, be attention. Just stand for a while and we'll give general salute to all our guests. Okay? Salute. जैसे थे प्रार्थना शुरू। এইটা সরিগলে ହେଇଯିବ। Thank you. I, DR.NAMITA PATTANAIK, the convener of this 33 national webinar on the topic COVID-19 pandemic and stress management, welcome all the guests and viewers to this Google board. This webinar is organized by the Rover and Ranger units of Maharishi College of Natural Law, Bhubaneswar, in active support of Odisha State Bharat Scouts and Guides. Now, I invite our revered patron, Dr. K.P. MISHRA, the National Vice President and Bharat Scouts and Guides India and the State Chief Commissioner, Odisha State Bharat Scouts and Guides, to this Google board. He is the guiding force behind all my webinars whose dynamic leadership, inspiration, effective guidance, valuable suggestion, and above all, the blessings helped me to organize a series of national level webinars during this pandemic. Now, I invite Honorable Vice Principal, Ma'am, Dr. Vijayalakshmi Panda, Ma'am, who is the reader in mathematics, the giant in mathematics, to this Google board, whose institutional support and advice helped me to run the virtual meeting, such worldwide virtual campaign smoothly. And now I also invite Dr. Ratna Prabha Devi, the HOD Chemistry, to this Google board, who will propose a vote of thanks. And now the time came. So you are very excited to see. You have already seen, but it's my proud privilege to invite our esteemed chief speaker, the center of all attraction to this Google board. He is none other than Mr. DILIP Rautrai. Oh. He is having a very good, pleasing personality, isn't it? Very popular person. And you might have seen today's morning at 10:30 in our DDK, Bhubaneswar. He is the quiz master. Since a long time, he is conducting this quiz, Jana Ajana, a versatile senior administrative officer of Odisha state government. Welcome, sir, to my domain at DR.NAMITA.co.in.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Namita.
Thank you very much. Now, it's time to invite all my dear participants, viewers, all the way virtually join over here from different parts of the world also, I can say today, because Mrs. Sangeeta Nayak joined from USA, from Virginia. Welcome, ma'am. And friends from Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Rajasthan, Jharkhand, Bihar, Southern Railway, Eastern Railway, East Coast Railway, UP, MP, and Delhi, and also many friends from other organizations like Maharashtra Odia Welfare Association, St. John Ambulance, and many more. And I'm also invite all my staff members of Maharishi College of Natural Law, both teaching and non-teaching, and the State Secretary, Odisha State Bharat Scouts and Guide, along with SOC's guide, Mrs. Anamika Das, Puspanjali Mahapatra ma'am, Joint SOC, and all respected state headquarters staff members, those who help all the time to conduct such virtual meetings. Now, it's time to welcome our friends virtually. Our guest of this afternoon, let us welcome them with virtual flower bouquet. The president of this webinar, Dr. Vijayalakshmi Panda ma'am.
Thank you, Namita.
Now, our patron, Dr. K.P. MISHRA sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
And finally, our guest, thank you, sir. Thanks to all of you for your kind cooperation. As you know, stress management is a wide spectrum of techniques and psychotherapies aimed at controlling a personal level stress, usually for the purpose of and for the motive of improving everyday functioning. So stress is basically the tension or the anxiety which is caused by any sort of pressure in everyday life. We are always facing everyday life. So the ability to handle or minimize the physical and emotional effects of such anxiety is known as stress management skills. So everyone experiences stress to some degree. So our objective of today's webinar is developing a clear understanding of how stress impacts your physical and mental health, like sign, symptom, causes, types, so many things. And number two is to know about its impact and treatment. You know, although stress is inevitable, it can be manageable. So let's listen to our chief speaker very shortly. And this is the time now to request our principal, the vice principal, the president of this webinar to welcome all the guests. Over to Dr. Vijayalakshmi Panda ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Good afternoon to all. It gives me immense pleasure to be a part of this webinar on COVID-19 pandemic and stress management. I, on behalf of Maharishi College of Natural Law and on my own behalf, welcome the patron of this occasion, Dr. K.P. MISHRA, National Vice President, State Chief Commissioner, ODISHA State, Bharat Scouts and Guides, and the Chief Speaker, Mr. DILIP RAUTRAI, OSD to Chief Secretary and Special Secretary to Government of Odisha, to our midst. The theme of the webinar is very significant. COVID-19 has threatened the whole world. It was part of stress on individual of the globe. The discussion and suggestion will benefit the mankind. Once again, I welcome you, our dignitaries, and I welcome Dr. Ratnaprabha Devi, HOD Chemistry of my college, and Dr. Namita PATTANAIK, Assistant State Commissioner Girls, the convener and my colleague. I wish the webinar a grand success. Thank you all. Jai Jagannath.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. Now, just like getting the blessing from Lord Jagannath, and without the blessing of our patron, we cannot move. So now it's time to listen from our patron, the National Vice President, Para Scouts and Guide India, Dr. K.P. MISHRA sir, Dr. Kali Prasad MISHRA sir, our esteemed patron. Over to Dr. K.P. MISHRA sir.
Namaskar, respected Dr. Professor Bhagyalakshmi Panda, Vice
Vijay Lakshmi.
Principal, Maharishi College, Natural Law.
Vijay Lakshmi Panda.
Sorry, Vijay Lakshmi Panda, Vice Principal, Maharishi College of Natural Law. Respected Sri DILIP RAUTRAI, Special Secretary to Government of ODISHA. Dr. Namita PATTANAIK, Convener of the ORGANISED. Dr. Rachna Prabha Devi, HOD of Chemistry Department, Maharishi College. Namaskar. कोरोना पैंडेमिक रे बोझे दीर्घ 18 मास है लॉकडाउन शटडाउन क्लोजर भीतर आम गति कर समस्त स्कूल कॉलेज सिनेमा ऑफिस रेस्टोरेंट बंद सरकार पर इंस्ट्रक्शन हो आम निजर विवेकर कथा मानी समस्त गृहबंदी कहले चले मनरे अनेक चिंता अनेक भय अनेक टेंशन काली टीवी न्यूज रे दौथला तीनोटी छोटिया छोटिया पिलांकर आखि बाहर कर दिया गला ए कोरोना समान इन्फेक्ट हो गला जे तांको बाध्य करा गला तिनि तांकर आखि बाहर कर दिया पई तांको बचिया पई बापा मांकर भय मो पिलार किछि होई जीवन तो सेति पई तांकर खेल बंद बाहर को जीवा बंद कहा संगे मिसिया बंद स्कूल कॉलेज भी बंद पिला मानकर चिंता पाठ पढ़ा ऑनलाइन रे होची ठीक भाव पढ़ा होची कि नहीं ठीक नहीं एबे घर कह ऑनलाइन एग्जामिनेशन हबो केते दूर ठीक हबो गत वर्षर फलाफल अनुसार मार्किंग दिया हबो मुझे पढ़ा पढ़ी कर आउरी अधिक मार्क करने चेष्टा करुली से सब तो विफल हो मोर कैरियर नष्ट होमती पिलांकर भी अनेक चिंता चिंता रु टेंशन टेंशन रु स्ट्रेस स्ट्रेस द्वारा केवल मन नुहे शरीर भी क्षति होता है विशेषकर ए पैंडेमिक पीरियड रे स्ट्रेस दूर करने लगी आम कि ना कि करवा उचित से आम सब प्रत्येक दिन योग प्रोग्राम कर योग करने लोक कह आज आम सह भारत सरकार जड़े उच्च प्रशासनिक अधिकारी ओडिशा सरकार प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी श्री दिलीप राउतराय अच्छा आई एम ग्रेटफुल टू हिम एंड थैंक हिम जैसे ओबिनेर जॉइन कले I also thank Dr. Namita Patnaik of Maharishi College and the whole Maharishi College of Natural Law for organizing this webinars on very useful subjects continuously during this pandemic period. Thank you all. I wish all the best. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Without your best of luck, we cannot proceed. Thank you so much. Now, it's time to introduce our chief speaker. So, I take this privilege and it's a great opportunity on my part to introduce a brilliant scholar, a dedicated government servant and very dynamic personality. Sri Dilip Rautrai, who is very senior officer belonging to Odisha Administrative Service. Presently, he is working as the OST to the Chief Secretary, Government of Odisha. I would like to inform you to all this August House that Sri Rautrai due to his sincerity, efficiency, and good manner, is very popular among all the officers of Odisha government. He served the government of Odisha in several capacities, including IDCO, OMC, BMC, that HUD department, sub-collector, sub-divisional magistrate in Bhubaneswar, and so on and so forth. So far the education is concerned, schooling from KB, Paradip Port, graduation from Ravensa, post-graduation from Utkal University, and I'm proud to inform you, he received the gold medal for being first-class first in history from Utkal University in post-graduation. Later, he joined Delhi University as UGC Research Fellow, then joined the state administrative job. Besides, he is a voracious reader, interested in editing, news magazine, and quizzing, and many literary activities. He is the founder, editor of IDCO newsletter titled idco.com. He also editor of the BMC News Magazine, OMC newsletter when he was there. As I told you, appreciated by many viewers, conducting regular quiz program in DDK Bhubaneswar on Sunday morning, every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. It's very popular. And he has widely traveled to many countries like USA, Iran, Middle East, Egypt, South Korea, Sweden, Norway, Finland, England, Sri Lanka, Hong Kong, and many more. His passion to deliver motivational speech. Last but not the least, the visiting professor of several management institutes like IMI, XIM, OP Jindal Global University, Sonipat, and many more. Let's listen from Mr. Rautrai. Oh, sorry, just a minute. I forgot to inform you a very good news. For his efficiency and sincerity, he has been promoted to Special Secretary to Government on 18th of June 2021. Just before 2 days. And let's congratulate him. I'm really happy at last. I can't just, it's just coming out from my heart. He is one of my best friends. So I'm proud of you, Mr. Dilip Rautrai.
Congratulate କରିକିରି ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଫୁଲ ତୋଡ଼ା ଦବା କଥା ନା ଆଉ
Sir, ଆପଣ କାଟି କଲେ ଆମେ ଚୁପ ହେଇଗଲୁ. It has been initiated by the IIT student Miss Abhipsa Parida from Jharsuguda. So I have already given a small piece of flower virtually, sir, and that is decorated here in my background. Everybody can see. Just for a minute. Yes, sir. So I'm really grateful to him for giving us an opportunity to listen from him. He's a very good scholar, sir. Besides, he's maintaining very low profile. क्षमता थाए लोकों पाखरे किंतु क्षमतार केही अपव्यवहार करि पारंती किंतु क्षमतारे थाई जे सुंदर सरल व्यवहार करे ओडिशा सरकार जिते जन सर अच्छा ऑफिसर्स आप जानी प्रति मिनिट रे स्काउट गाइड एक्टिविटीज पाखे पहुंची जाए बहुत सुंदर भाव से समस्त को पछरे पकई दे आग भारत स्काउट गाइड को सैल्यूट करी थांती से लगी आमे तांको पाखे निश्चिंत भाव में ओब्लाइज बहुत खुशी लगे जिते कौन ना कौन स्काउट गाइड फाइल जदि पाखे पहुंचे चीफ मिनिस्टर पाखक जीवाई से इमिडिएटली मते जणै दियंती नमिता आज तुमर ए फाइल टे आसीतिला मु ताकू पास थ्रू करि देछि सो थैंक्स टू हिम हमर जहा की ग्रांट आज जदि आमे पाउचे सर सेथिरे तांकर ब्लेसिंग बहुत अछि सर जदि से चाहि थांते से ताको पाखरु फेरे देई परथांते किंतु से बहुत लॉयल टू ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भारत स्काउट्स एंड गाइड जोथि पई से प्रथमे चीफ मिनिस्टर को पाखरे फाइल पहुंचीबा पूर्वरु मते जणैथिले नमिता तुम फाइल चली जाइए ओके ही जाइए सो थैंक्स टू दिलीप भाई आई एम रियली ग्रेटफुल टू यू एंड ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ ओडिशा स्टेट भारत स्काउट्स एंड गाइड आई अगेन express my gratitudes. Now, let's listen from Mr. Rautrai about the main problem which was already told by our patron, Dr. K.P. Mishra sir. Sir, over to Mr. Rautrai.
Good evening to all of you. I believe I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can take up the mask, Dilip. It will be much more better audible.
No, I believe I'm not an unknown face now because my profile is just behind Namita. But am I not audible properly, or you want me to unmask myself?
Hello.
We are propagating the message of Mask Up India. So let me continue the mask unless it is really desired that I should take it out. First of all, let me thank Dr. Namita PATTANAIK for having given me this opportunity to interact with all of you. I also express my gratitude and thanks to Dr. Vijayalakshmi Panda, the Vice Principal of Maharishi College of Natural Law, and Dr. K.P. MISHRA, who has been at the forefront of the Scout movement in the country. I thank all the patrons of this particular webinar, and I again express my deep gratitude that they have chosen a topic which is of immense importance at a time when the whole country, the whole world for that matter, is fighting against such a pandemic. Lives have been lost, livelihoods have been thrown to the winds. A lot of people are today on the streets. So this is such a unbelievable, unexpected, unthinkable kind of a situation which all of us are grappling with. So in this context, managing stress is very, very important, because all of us, I would say, the robust optimist, today the robust optimist is also infected with stress. And I would like to make a presentation. The presentation is divided into 3 parts basically. It's a PowerPoint presentation where I'll talk about what are the signs of stress, what are the causes of stress. But more than that, I will focus attention on how to mitigate stress, how to manage stress. That is the focus of today's discussion. And I will try to summarize my presentation within 30 minutes. And then I would like to take questions from all the viewers. So now over to the presentation. I just take 1 minute to get back to the presentation. Window पे आते हैं So let me just discuss in brief what is stress basically. So stress, as Dr. Namita PATTANAIK was mentioning at the inaugural session, that stress is nothing but the wear and tear our minds and bodies experience when we cope up with a continually changing environment. today the environment has changed. We are grappling with a pandemic which none of us has imagined in the past. None of us had ever imagined that this kind of a social isolation, home isolation, had to be followed. So the wear and tear our bodies and minds are experiencing is what we call stress. And this is a definition given by Dr. Hansel. Hansen is basically an endocrinologist, and he has done a lot of research on stress and its effects on the human body. He is considered to be a father of biological stress. Dr. Hansel is considered to be the father of biological stress. So stress is nothing but our physical and emotional response to change. So change is the only constant. All of us agree, all of you will agree for that matter, that change is the only constant in life. And how we manage, how we respond physically and emotionally is something which will cause stress. If you are able to handle physically and emotionally, we will be free of stress. If you are unable to handle the physical and emotional response, then we are bound to be stressful. And I'm very sorry to say that we lost a dear friend, Dr. Debashish Panigrahi, just 2 days back. And all my friends who have joined today on this particular webinar are still unable to come out of the shock. So we never expected that he would be so stressful that he will have to do away with his life. So in this pandemic, and again repeating that such a wonderful topic has been chosen, which is of immense relevance. Now these are the signs of stress. I'll just quickly go through: insomnia, loss of mental concentration, one feels restless, there is frustration, there is family conflict, people experience migraine, headache, back problems. So these are some of the signs of stress. Now, what are the causes of stress? Well, job insecurity, yes. Pandemic has created a job insecurity of about 80 million people in the world. So job insecurity is something which causes stress. High performance demand, because you need to perform, otherwise you perish. So either you perform or you perish is the mantra of life. So high performance demand, sometimes bad boss also causes stress. Workplace culture also causes stress. Personal problems, family problems also account for stress. Technology, the change in technology also causes stress. And today we are concerned about this pandemic, which has caused stress beyond imagination. So stress occurs because the pressure is greater than the resource. Just imagine 2 months back in Delhi, oxygen was absolutely not available. Hospitals had closed their doors from outside. There was a resource crunch and the pressure was mounting. The pressure to admit patients, pressure to provide oxygen cylinders, and the resources, the entire medical infrastructure, the hospital infrastructure had crumbled in Delhi. So, as all of you know, the Odisha government also supplied about 25,000 metric tons of oxygen to different states. So, resource, when the constant of resource and when the pressure is high, resource is less, definitely that is good with stress. And this is the kind of stress which is encountered in the second phase of the pandemic. Of course, when achievement is less than expectation, you have a stress. But today, we are concerned more with this pressure caused by the pandemic, especially the second wave of pandemic, and the constraint of resources to handle that. What are the types of stress? I just come to quickly discuss about these types of stress. You have external stress, internal, positive and negative stress. I will discuss about positive stress later. Yes, stress can also be positive. So it is not stress which kills us, it is the reaction to stress which kills us. What are the external stresses? It is the physical environment. We are confined to the four walls of our house. We are forced for home isolation. We are confined to the medical bed. So just imagine the kind of physical environment which we have to face because of this pandemic. Social interaction is limited. Every social interaction, the kind of social interaction which we are having now, is reduced to a virtual social interaction. Social interaction, thy name is not there. Everybody is glued either to their own workplace, either the home. So the social interaction has been minimized to the extent possible. And just imagine, all human beings, all of us are social animals. So social animals having no social interaction. And that is the kind of stress which we have to encounter. Organizational factors, I'm not going to discuss this now. Major life events, yes. Stress has caused major life events like somebody's death. And as Dr. K.P. MISHRA was mentioning, that because of the pandemic, maybe because of, I think, white fungus or a black fungus, somebody's eyes had to be extracted. Post-COVID, somebody's eyes have to be extracted. So just imagine this kind of major life events can cause what kind of a stress, and we need to adjust, we need to handle, we need to manage, we need to mitigate those kind of stress. And just imagine daily hassles. Today, I'm not, forget about the frontline workers, the doctors, the paramedics, the nurses who are having daily hassles managing the patients, and the patient load has phenomenally increased in the hospital. So with this kind of a situation, one can imagine what kind of a stress this external environment has brought about. Now I'm coming to the internal stressors. So internal stressors are basically something to do with our internal mechanism, our own DNA, the lifestyle choice which we have. If we talk negative, I would just give a small example of a negative person. A negative person would say that it is a misery to be born, trouble to live, and pain to die. Misery to be born, trouble to live, pain to die. So just imagine what kind of a negative person he or she is. So those kind of persons with so much of negative thoughts, negative ideas, negative feelings will always be stressful. And so there is a felt need that we should be positive, and we'll discuss in the future slides how we have to be positive, how we can be positive, and how positivity will mitigate stress. Mind trap is again another internal problem. Personality trait. One's personality is also something to do, as I was mentioning, your personality is very, very important. Somebody said that personality is nothing but your own psyche, your own thought process, everything taken together means a personality. So somebody's personality can be positive, somebody can be negative, somebody can radiate positivism, somebody can radiate negativism. So it depends on the person's personality. And this is negative stress versus positive stress. So positive stress is generally, we call it eustress. Positive stress is basically eustress. It excites. Positive stress motivates. It improves our performance. But today we are concerned about negative stress. It causes anxiety. It instills unpleasant feeling. It saps our energy and performance. It could be because of death, because of long-term illness, hospitalization, job loss, divorce, bankruptcy, etc., etc. So we are more concerned today about negative stress rather than positive stress. So what kind of a response do we make when we encounter stress? Either we fight or we flight. So, and this is controlled by the endocrine glands, and it may cause high level of secretion of the adrenaline glands or testosterone. The viewers would agree with me that endocrine glands are directly linked with the stress levels which we have. Because in the endocrine glands, they secrete the hormones directly into the bloodstream. So immediately when they become stressful, the endocrine glands, they start malfunctioning, and that causes dangerous consequences both for our body and also for our mind. Thyroid, for example, is an endocrine gland. So lots of us, I take thyroid medicine, thyroxine every morning, because my thyroxine, the secretion of thyroid is not sufficient in my body. So I take, and majority of the women, they have problems concerning thyroid. So, and thyroid is an endocrine gland, and it has something to do with the stress levels which we face. So these are the stress-related illnesses which we encounter. It could be cardiovascular disease. Our friend Dr. Devasis Panigre died of a cardiovascular disease post-COVID. Immune system is not only weakened by AIDS alone. It's not acquired immunodeficiency syndrome which weakens our immune system. Stress also weakens our immune system. So this is a very vital point which all of us should underline and remember, that stress weakens our immune system. In other words, if we are distressed, our immune system will strengthen. Positive hormones will get secreted in our bloodstream, and that will help us to fight the antigens. So more antibodies will be created, not just by taking vaccine. Vaccine, yes, both the doses of vaccine will help us. Besides the doses of vaccine, we have to follow the protocol, the protocol, advised by the government regarding COVID management, and also we have to be de-stressed. If we are de-stressed, our immune system will improve. That's very important in this given context. People with asthma, if they are stressful, the asthmatic attack or asthmatic problems, it balloons up. Diabetes also is a major problem associated with stress. I always tell wherever I go that diabetes is not something which we have inherited from our parents or grandparents. Diabetes is a lifestyle disease today. I always advise that we should avoid three things: avoid hurry, avoid curry, avoid worry. If we avoid these three things, hurry, worry, and curry, we will avoid diabetes. And diabetes, as all of you know, India today is considered to be one of the capitals of the world, diabetes capitals of the world, because of the incidence of diabetes. You throw a stone at anybody, he is a diabetic or she is a diabetic. So diabetes needs to be controlled. And another related illness with stress is digestive disorders. People develop ulcers, and people have skin rashes, and many women also have irregular periods. And most important, lots of people slip into depression syndrome. So that is very, very dangerous, that people slip into depression, and they need a lot of mental, as I was reading one of the, as one of the advisories of the Government of India, Ministry of Health, that mental diseases associated with COVID is one major area of concern. Today, lots of people have developed depression because of stress-induced, it is a stress-induced depression induced by COVID. Now, I don't want to discuss about the cost of stress because we have not analyzed in our country, but the fact remains that 80% of the diseases are associated with stress. 80% of the diseases are associated with stress. And in UK, a study was conducted way back in 2018, where it said that about 40 million working days were lost every year because of stress-related diseases. So from this, all of you can imagine how stress not only affects our body, our mind, but also our economy. So we need to address stress, and this is what we have to discuss, and that is the reason for which all of us have assembled, as to what is the strategy as to how we can control stress. And the strategy is very simple. It is an ABC strategy. I say it is an ABC strategy. And what is A here? A is nothing but awareness. Awareness about what causes stress. And yes, that is a stressful situation. Whether I need to respond to stress or react to stress. If I respond, it's fine, because we need to respond to stress, because we cannot do away with stress. If there is a stressful situation, we need to respond. But if we react, that is the dangerous thing. So as far as controlling stress is concerned, the ABC strategies presupposes awareness, and awareness is basically to be aware about what causes stress. One needs to be aware about that thing, then only he or she can control himself or herself. Now, what is balance? Balancing is basically converting the negative stress into positive stress. It's very easier said than done, but it is possible. It is possible because if we are determined, we can definitely do it. So it is determination which is required to convert negative stress into positive stress, to convert distress into eustress, to convert caterpillars of hopelessness into pillars of strength, to convert stopping stones into stepping stones, to convert adversities into opportunities. And that requires balance, a mental balance, so that you are able to convert all these things, caterpillars into pillars, adversities into opportunities, and stopping stones into stepping stones. Now, what is C? C is control. You need to be in control of the situation. We know, yes, a pandemic has struck. Many of our family members have died. Maybe the breadwinner himself or herself has died. But we need to control the negative effects of stress. That's very, very important. And that is exactly what we are going to discuss in the subsequent slides. So what is the technique to manage stress? The best technique is we have to think differently. We have to change the way we think. That is important. We have to change our behavior. We have to change our lifestyle. And yes, many of us have already changed our lifestyle. We are cocooned in our rooms. We are masking up. We are not going to the, we are not going to the public, or not. We are going to places where a lot of crowd is there. We are avoiding crowd. So there has already been a change in lifestyle, which is because of COVID. And that's what we have to do. We can do away with that. And most important is the 5 A's. Avoid. We have to avoid the crowd. We have to avoid going outside unnecessarily. We have to alter our thoughts. We have to adopt the new style. Today, masking up, washing your hands frequently, not touching public places or public surfaces is the new SOP, new standard operating procedure which we have to adopt. And if we avoid, alter, adopt, then we can be more adaptive. We can adapt to changes. COVID has thrown up a challenge to the entire humanity, and the humanity is expected to adapt themselves to the change. If we adapt ourselves, the Darwin's theory is very clear. It is the, survival of the fittest. So the fittest person is adaptable. We need to adapt to the changing environment, to the changes, and we need to accept. Accepting is very, very important for handling stress. And what is accepting? When we do not have what we like, we have to like what we have. That is accepting. When we do not have what we like, we have to like what we have. In that film Bala, the person, the protagonist of the film, the hero, he was bald, but he was trying to hide his baldness, and he was unsuccessful. He had to make a sorry figure. He had to cut a very sorry figure. And when he started accepting that, yes, I am bald, so what? So accepting helps you to love yourself. So when we accept ourselves, we start loving ourselves. And when we love ourselves, we can love others. So avoid, alter, adopt, adapt, accept. The entire thing is called attitude. So attitude is very, very important. All of you would agree that it is attitude which determines the altitude. So we need to develop the right attitude to handle stress. I will give a small example of attitude. With due respect to women, Namita, my friend, is also a woman, but with due respect to women, just an anecdote. 7 women were having, it was a kitty party in a particular hotel, and they were enjoying the snacks, etc. Suddenly, from nowhere, a cockroach came and sat on the shoulders of a woman. Just imagine a cockroach, and she blew it out of proportions. Oh my God! The waiter, he was standing at a distance. He came running. Madam, what has happened? Then, the lady indicated to the cockroach. And the person took the cockroach coolly with his hands, opened the windows and threw it outside. So this is an example of attitude. The problem is same. The problem was cockroach. The lady, she shouted as if the heavens have fallen. And here the waiter, he comes running, coolly takes it out, throws it outside. So it is just a small example of an attitude. So attitude can make a huge difference. So somebody is happy not because everything good is happening. I repeat, somebody is happy not because everything good is happening to him, but because his attitude to everything is happy. He accepts things. He is adaptable. He adopts the new lifestyle. He alters whatever is required. He avoids going to places which will cause him tension or will induce stress. So happiness is very important. We all should learn this particular, this small word happiness is indeed a stress buster. Happy person takes life as it comes. He or she thinks whatever is happening is for good. Whatever will happen will be for good. Whatever has happened is also for good. So basically, he thinks that problem is a bend, but not the end of the road. I'll give a small example of a happy person. I'll give a small story. A young couple, they were just married. The young man was a naval officer. So, he took his wife to the sea for a boat ride. And suddenly there was a storm. And the storm was very bad. And, the boat started shaking. But the naval officer was very cool. He was totally not bothered. But his wife, newly married wife, was almost so stressful that she was about to break. She said, "What is happening? You are totally cool. This is such a stormy weather. We are in the deep sea and the boat is likely to sink and we'll be nowhere. But you are totally cool." He was having a sword. He was having a pistol. He is a naval officer. He is entitled to a pistol. It was licensed pistol. So suddenly he took the pistol and put it on the forehead of his newly married wife. The wife started laughing. "What nonsense. You are joking. See what kind of a weather we are facing. The boat is almost going to sink and you are just showing it. When you are playing with this small pistol, what is this?" You're like, "Are you not afraid?" He said, "What nonsense. Why should be afraid? You love me. You love me so much. I'm your wife. Why should be I afraid? Now, exactly. Exactly. You are not afraid because you know I love you. I'm your husband. I love you. You know that I'm just joking. This is exactly going to happen. We all are creations of the Almighty. I'm not Dilip Rautrai. She is not Dr. Pattanaik. She is not Dr. K.P. MISHRA or Dr. B.L. Panda. All of us are small fries in this universe. We all are children of the Almighty. The Almighty loves us. So if at all we have to sing, we'll sing. That is the Almighty's desire. But I'm sure that the Lord will help us out. You know, soon after the naval officer had told this particular thing, suddenly the storm subsided and, they had a smooth sail in the sea and then they came back to the shore. So just imagine, here his wife was totally petrified, but here the husband was totally cool. He was saying that whatever is happening is for good, whatever will happen is for good, and whatever has happened is also for good. So we need to be happy, and in every circumstances, it is easier said than done. But all of you have to agree that we have no other choice. We have to accept there are difficult times in life, but yes, we need to accept them. And once we start accepting it, we will get back our cool, our composure, and our smile back. One has to be optimistic. Yes, optimism is the bedrock of stress management. Somebody said that an optimist loves to forget, but a pessimist forgets to laugh. Just imagine just a small line, but it has manifold connotation. A pessimist forgets to laugh, but an optimist laughs to forget. He laughs to forget about this pandemic. He laughs to forget about the loss of his near and dear ones. He laughs to forget that he has not gone to office for a very long time. He laughs to forget that he has lost his job. He laughs to forget that he has no source of livelihood, but still he's laughing because he's an optimist and he knows that things will change, and it will change for the better, and the stormy weather will end up in a sunshine. Every stormy weather ends up in a sunshine. He knows that. He's optimist. He sees the silver lining amidst dark clouds. He is not bogged down by anxiety. Anxiety is a very dangerous word. There is a doggo in Odia. There is I know a lot of non-Odia persons are here, but there is a punchline in Odia which says, "Chinta khaye gondi, luno khaye handi," which means fire. That's the English translation. Fire burns the lifeless wood. Anxiety burns the living manhood. If we are having anxiety, if we are bogged down by anxiety, we will lose our manhood. The whole body will become useless. We'll just become a dead body because we are bogged down by anxiety. Just as fire burns the lifeless wood. So, dear friends, let's develop the attitude to be optimistic. Despite odds, we have to be optimistic, because somebody very interestingly said, "Sir, you talk about stress. How do you say that will not be stressful?" I told that we are stressful because of two reasons. Number one, we have a problem. Number two, we are unable to solve the problem. Am I right? We are stressful because we have a problem and we are unable to solve the problem. COVID-19 is a problem. We are unable to solve the problem. We have to now get ready for the third wave of pandemic. So I said, if you cannot solve the problem, so problem has two dimensions. Either you can solve the problem or you cannot solve the problem. Either you can solve the problem or you cannot solve the problem. Now, if you can solve the problem, what is the use of worrying? If you can solve the problem, what is the use of worrying? And if you cannot solve the problem, what is the need for worrying? If you cannot solve the problem, what is the need for worrying? So why worry at all? Now you need to have the courage of conviction. Sorry, we'll take the questions. I'll just try to finish in the next 10 minutes or so. I'll go a little fast. We'll take the questions after that. I know you must be, a lot of things must be quicking up in your minds to take, to ask the questions. I'll definitely take the questions. So courage of conviction and conviction of courage are very important, and they are the real stress busters. Now, what is courage of conviction? You have a conviction that this is the right approach, and you are courageous to go by it, stand by it, and that is called courage of conviction. And somebody interestingly said that courage without conviction is like a car without a brake, and conviction without courage is like a rager without age. I'm reminded, I'll not go more into this particular slide. I'll just go to the next slide. So courage of conviction I told, and as I told during one of my slides, that we need to be determined, because desire changes nothing, decision changes something, but determination changes everything. So we have to have a determination, come what may, I am not going to be stressed. Come what may, I will laugh. Come what may, I will not take it to my heart. Come what may, I will remain determined that I will remain distressed from everything. Because whatever is happening is for good, whatever is, whatever has happened is for good, and whatever is going to happen is also for good. So we need to have a determined approach to stop stressing and start living, so that we can make a sea change in our lives. Very interestingly, I'll just go back to an anecdote in the Indian context. Lord Narada, generally, when he goes on a tour, he submits his tour diary to Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna wondered, Narada, what is this? You have already toured to the terrestrial world, but I have not seen your tour diary. Then Narada said, sir, I'm very sorry. It's a pandemic time. COVID-19 has struck the whole world. So I was, I myself was perplexed. I saw a lot of dying bodies being cremated, bodies being thrown out, bodies being washed in the sea, bodies being thrown to the rivers. So, the people are without oxygen. The hospital infrastructure is stressed. They are totally crippled. So, sir, I have not been able to submit my tour diary. I'm very sorry for that. Then Lord said, okay, forget, you have not submitted tour diary, but tell me in brief, what exactly did you see when you visited the earth? He said, God, when I visited earth, I found that people live as if they will never die. They live as if they will never die, despite the pandemic. And when they die as if they have never lived. I repeat what he said. God, people are living as if they will never die. And when they die as if they have never lived. So the basic thing he was hinting at, that it's not important that we add years to life. We have to add life to years. We have to add life to years. We may be living for 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, whatever, but we have to remain lively. We have to add jest. We have to add life to our years. That is what exactly he was mentioning. God said, okay, what else did you see? Then Narada replied, God, it's very interesting. People are busy losing their losing their health in pursuit of wealth. People are busy losing their health in the search of wealth. and after few years, they lose the wealth to get back their health. So, sir, this is the dichotomy in which the human beings on earth have been living. Despite pandemic, few people have changed, but majority have not changed. We need to change our thinking actually, and thinking is nothing but it's controlled by two things. We have to be positive thinkers and we have to reframe our thoughts. Now, what is reframing? Reframing is nothing but it's a technique to change the way we look at things so that we can feel better about them. I'll give a small example of reframing. There was an old man, ever since he was born, he was totally a non-believer. He always said that God is nowhere. God is nowhere. And he taught his children, his grandchildren, that God is nowhere. He had become old, and suddenly he told his grandchild, write on the board what I told you. So the girl child, actually it was a magnetic board. It was not a chalk or blackboard or a whiteboard. It was a magnetic board, a whiteboard with magnetic words. So the young child, the grandchild, he wrote, God is nowhere. That W came closer to O. So it became, God is now here. This person, this old person, he was stupefied. He said, he realized just by bringing the word W to O, from God is nowhere, it became God is now here. From that day onwards, he became a thorough believer. So that is nothing but reframing. So we need to reframe our thoughts when we are faced with very difficult situations. Of course, we need to be positive in our thoughts. We have to focus on our strengths. We have to learn from the stress we are under. When learning from the stress means basically ABC. We have to accept, we have to analyze, we have to be aware why we are under stress. We have to look for opportunities to bring a change. We have to look out for positives to bring a change. Despite odds, despite pandemic, despite the problems we are encountering, we need to develop the positive attitude, and we need to change our behavior. We have to be assertive, organized. We have to ventilate. This is very important. We have to ventilate. I remember when I was in school, we had a poem by Kabir Das. The poem was in Khadi Boli, Hindi, Dehati Hindi, but it said, Rahiman नीज मन की बिथा मन ही राखो गोय सुनी अठिलाई लोग सब बांटी न लाई है कोई. So he said, it is basically Rahim's Doha. So Rahim is saying that नीज मन की बिथा, your own sorrows, you keep it to yourself, don't share with others. I also became a believer of that particular thought, but when I grew up, I realized no. As human beings, we need to ventilate our sorrows. We need to ventilate our feelings so that we can get back our composure. But question is, apna kaha sahita ventilate karibe? Who do we ventilate with? Very interestingly, somebody has mentioned that close and open are opposite words, isn't it? Close and open. So you have to be open only with those with whom you are close. We have to be open only with those with whom we are close. My dear friend Titho is there watching me from Delhi. Titho is a dear friend of mine. A lot of other friends, PK Das, a lot of my friends, Bibhu, MISHRA is also there. So I am close to them, and that's why I can open with them. So I can ventilate. So that's the very interesting that you said that you can be open only with those with whom we are close. So we need to be open with our very, very close friends with whom we can ventilate our thoughts. And when we ventilate, actually, we become very cool. We get relaxed. our negative thoughts get converted into positive thoughts and we get totally distressed. So ventilate is very, very important. We need to add humor. I know a lot of my friends should be here. They're very humorous. I'm a very serious person. But yes, we need to add humor to life. And once you add humor to life, life becomes a pleasurable journey. Controlling anger. Yes, I'm frustrated. I am frustrated. I cannot control my anger. And somebody very interestingly said that anger is a poison. Anger is a poison which you drink or which we drink and expect the other person to die. Can I call you back? So anger is a poison which we drink. I'm totally angry. I'm totally frustrated. I've lost my job. I've lost my parents. I've lost my near relations. I've lost my child. So I'm totally frustrated. I'm an angry man. I'm a hungry man. I know you are a hungry man. You are an angry man. But if you do not control your anger, it's not going to help you. Anger is a poison which you are drinking. And you're expecting the other person to die. No. Please control your anger. Please control yourself. That's important. Overcome jealousy, overcome ego. And all of us are social animals, as I was mentioning, that life is an arithmetic. Life is an arithmetic where friends had to be added, where enemies had to be subtracted, where joys had to be multiplied, where sorrows had to be divided. Many of my friends are watching this particular presentation. We were yesterday, when we lost a dear friend, we were dividing our sorrows. We are talking to each other. When we are joyful, we talk to each other, we multiply our joys. And we are sorrowful, we divide the sorrows by talking to ourselves. And very interestingly, joys and sorrows, they defy the laws of arithmetic. Because joy shared is joy doubled, but sorrow shared is sorrow halved. So if we share our sorrows, again I repeat, we need to share only with those with whom we are close. We cannot share with everybody. So when we share our sorrows, sorrows get halved, and we share our joys, joys multiplies. We need to manage time. I know a lazy person has no time, but a busy person has time, because he or she knows how to divide his time. We have to divide our time, because time is a precious resource, and today a lot of people have trouble in managing time. People who are office goers today are confined to the rooms, confined to the four walls of their house. So they are very, very petrified, perturbed, stressful as to how to manage time. So you need to keep yourself busy. You need to help your spouse. That's how, when you are at home, you can spend time with your children, which normally we could not do. So once we do that, maybe you have to convert everything into an opportunity. Maybe you will think that, yes, pandemic has given me this opportunity to spend more time with my family. That's how we can we can convert adversities into opportunities. We need to have a SWOT analysis of ourselves. All of us are different. Our 5 fingers are also different. But each of the fingers, they have their own merits. So SWOT analysis, what does it help? SWOT analysis is nothing but strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. So we need to analyze what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, what are the opportunities given by the Almighty, and what are the threat perceptions, and how we can convert weaknesses into strength. How can we convert threat into opportunity? Because there is no rose without thorns. So SWOT analysis helps us to find ease with ourselves. And I'll just conclude quickly that attitude is an important facet of stress management. We have already discussed those ladies with the cockroach, how they were two different persons behaved differently. So we have to develop that kind of an attitude so that we feel good wherever we are, howsoever troubled we are. We have to develop that kind of an attitude. Then only things will change. And I just conclude. I would like to conclude with this alliteration that life is precious. Life is precious, and I ask God, actually. I ask God, God give me everything so that I can enjoy life. God give me everything. God give me promotion. God give me the best of vehicle, best of car, best of house, best of property so that I can enjoy life. But no. God did not give me everything. God gave me life. God gave me life. Today almost 3 lakh people, close to 4 lakh people have died in the country. But all of us are here, and we are really thankful to the God that God, you have given us life so that we are able to enjoy all things. We are able to discuss your grace. We are able to discuss your benedictions which you have showered upon all of us who have joined today on this Zoom platform. God, you are really great. And I'm sure all of you are distressed. Any questions, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Dilip Babu. Very lovely, very informative, beautiful. Keep it up,
Thank you.
please.
My pleasure. Thank you. Yeah. Screen is visible. Thank you. I just want to. Yeah. Stop sharing. Any questions, please?
ଆପଣ ଏତେ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଭାବରେ କହିଲେ ଯେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ କିଛି ନାହିଁ ମନରେ ଆଉ।
Thank you so much. My dear friend Tirtho, I have unmasked myself. You can have a full view of me.
Hello.
Yes, please.
This is Vijay, Dilip. How?
Yeah, Vijay. Vijay, yes. Please, any questions, Vijay?
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Sir, one question,
Mishra,
sir.
anything? Yes, please.
Sir, one question.
Yes,
sir,
please.
Sir, if you get permission, I tell in Odia.
Yeah. John, Odia report.
बस सर प्रणाम सर आपन को सर गोटे सर्विस स्टेशन रे गोटे जो सर्विस होची से सर धर जो गोटे एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट से इंस्टीट्यूट रे गोटे लेक्चर टे भलो परफॉर्मेंस दोची भलो काम करूची किंतु धर जो गोटे जेंट्स लेडीज टाइप रो प्रिंसिपल अछंती इनएक्टिव नोती सेठी डोमिनेट करचंती क्लर्क माने तांकर ऊपर ऑफिसर माने को धरि की मन इच्छा राज चलीचंती सेठी जो टाइप रो मानसिक टर्चर पाउचंती किछि अध्यापक अछंती बा एमती किछि अछंती सर से जगह रे किमती जने बैलेंस करि परिबो फॉर एग्जांपल सर 665 कैटेगरी कॉलेज रे केना से गवर्नमेंट रो किछि तार परमिशन नाही सर माने ट्रांसफर नाही सर सर्विस बुक नाही
ओके आपण भल नाटा होची मिस्टर
जयंत कुमार प्रधान
जयंत प्रधान ओके
सर गुड इवनिंग सर संदीप कर्मकार सर
यस
संदीप कर्मकार सर
Sandeep Babu, I'll just answer Mr. Jayant and then come back to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Jayant, upon jo prashna ta pacharuchanti, basically, you have to accept it. Upon ko transfer nahi, ye nahi, you have to accept it. Upon thore accept karile mane, upon ko tension abone. Because upon jo accept karuchanti, you are accepting that ja hochi thik hochi, ja habo thik habo. Ja heichi thik heichi. So once you start, you have to try for a change. जदि आपण चेंज करि पारनांती से परिस्थिति को से परिस्थिति सहित समझौता करिनेले परिस्थिति आपण को बिगाड़ी पारिबोनी माने जेमति परिस्थिति रे को भाबंत आपण गोटे लहड़ी आसुची आपण लहड़ी पाखरे जदि मुंडो नुआई देबे तो लहड़ीटा चली जिवो आपण जदि लहड़ी को माने सामना करिवे तो लहड़ी आपन अटैक करिवो एवं आपन को हाड़ मध्ये भांगी जाई पारे आपण जानचंती लहड़ी रो सेति की प्रेशर सेति की फोर्स अछि लहड़ी पाखरे तेनु आपण को से सिचुएशन टाकू एक्सेप्ट करिनो को हबो
सर सर से करी कि सर से करी कि सर एडजस्ट करछु प्रेशर बढ़ जाउची आ
परिस्थिति बोली आपण हसी हसी प्रश्नटा पचारुचंती एवं मते लागुची आपण स्ट्रेसफुल नांती थैंक यू सो मच
थैंक यू सर
मिस्टर कर्माकर प्लीज या मिस्टर कर्माकर
Thank you for your today's session, sir. I am a Rajyapal Rover, sir. My teacher is Namita madam and also Kali sir. 20 years back, sir. 20 years back. It is a long journey. I am so happy today. Actually, my question is how someone will be come back from a depression when everything is lost, when someone is entering into a depression and just in front of suicide. Like so many people are committing suicide due to depression, due to they are unable to manage their stress. Even a single point of view, they are unable to manage their stress, and they are committing suicide. In that case, how what will be your teaching in that point of view, sir?
हाँ संदीप बाबू जोटा आमे आलोचना मध्य कले एक समय धरिकरी प्राय घंटे धरिक आमे आलोचना कले जे सबु बेले परिस्थिति समान नथिबो विपरीत परिस्थिति रे भी आमे हसिबा सिखिबा हमकु आमे केतोल छडा सिखि परिबा मु कहूची सबु किछि माने गोटे छोटिया एग्जांपल दउची गोटे पिला यू नो से सीवी रमन कॉलेज रु पास कला एवं से गोटे पर्टिकुलर इंटरव्यू दबा को आई मीन से फर्स्ट पोस्टिंग थिला ही वाज गोइंग अब्रॉड किंतु से पिला he was in some connection he was arrested by the police because he was arrested by the police तो बहुत frustrated हला किंतु से जो फ्लाइट रे जाई थांता that flight got lost in the South China Sea that flight got lost तेणु से पिलार जीवन बंची गला तेणु ता परवर्ती काल रे से पिला फ्री हे के आसिला मोर गोटे संगर सॉरी मोर सान भाई रो गोटे संग तो वो एक छोटिया एग्जांपल दबार उद्देश्य होची जेतबेले से अरेस्ट हला से निजो को केते माने केते फ्रस्ट्रेटेड फील करिथिबो आपण अनुमान करूथिबे केते से भांगी पड़िथिबो एवं जेतबेले से रियलाइज कला जे सब जो फ्लाइट रे से जाई करी जॉइन करतांता तार फर्स्ट पोस्टिंग रे से फ्लाइट इज लॉस्ट से फ्लाइट रो अत्ता पत्ता भी मिलिला नाही एवं तार परवर्ती समय रे से सेठू जेल रो मुकुली के आसिला बेल रे आसिला एवं से केस ता अल्टीमेटली डिसमिस हला एवं तार जीवन ता रक्षा पाइला तनो से गोटे छोटिया कथा कहला तनो जान है तो जहान है तनो आपण जीवन अछि तो सब किछि अछि जोटा म कहली आई आस्क्ड गॉड टू गिव मी ऑल थिंग्स सो दैट आई कैन एंजॉय लाइफ बट गॉड गिव मी लाइफ सो दैट आई एम एबल टू एंजॉय ऑल थिंग्स सो लाइफ इज वेरी इंपोर्टेंट एवं लाइफ रे बहुत प्रकार झड़ झंझा आसीबो समस्या आसीबो मु जो छोटे एग्जांपल ता कहउथिली से जो नेवी ऑफिसर तंकर नव विवाहित वाइफ को नेकरी जाउथिले समुद्र रे लहड़ी माने ढेउ जोर जोर आसिला एवं गोटे माने तूफान आसिला एवं तूफान से डंगा बुडी जाई थांता एवं से केते विचलित हो जाइथिले किंतु से कॉन्फिडेंट थिले जे जदी हबो जदी मो होची भगवान को संतान जदी मते भगवान बुडे देबे मु किछ करि परिबि ना आई कैन नॉट डू एनीथिंग बिकॉज़ इट इज डीप सी मु समुद्र पहरी के आसी परिबि नै मो पाखे किसी एमती गैजेट्स नहीं जे गोटे एसओएस कॉल करी तेणु मु बुड़ी जी ठीक अच्छे किंतु मु भावुची भगवान कर मु संतान भगवान मत निश्चय बंचेबे भगवान के ऊपर मु छाड़ी देबे एंड से बंची के आसिला तेणु वी हैव टू सरेंडर आल्सो टू द ऑलमाइटी बिकॉज़ वी आर नॉट वी डू नॉट हैव एनी माइट we may say that we are powerful so called powerful but we are totally powerless you can see how many powerful people are dying how many powerful people are surrendering to the Almighty, praying for their lives. So we have to be positive in our thoughts. आउ किसी बाटो नहीं हम पाखे हमर एटीट्यूड बदलया पई होची गोटे बाटो हमको हमर एटीट्यूड रे परिवर्तन करिया पड़ियो संदीप बाबू ताहाले जे कि हमें हमर स्ट्रेस लेवल को कमे परिबा
Thank you sir for your valuable comments.
Dilip Babu so nicely explained.
Sir, namaskar.
Mr. Vijay Mishra. कुहतु
सर धन्यवाद आपनकु बहुत भलो बुझेले तो सर मु खाली गोटे जानिबा को चाहूची
Could I tell something?
जने सोशल वर्कर हिसाब रे
Hello.
स्काउटर हिसाब रे जो पेंडेमिक सिचुएशन ले गोटे फैमिली रे हो बा जने पर्सन ले हो ए जो स्ट्रेस आसुची जते बेले हमर रोल कोन रहयो
आपण विजय बाबू you are a scout leader, isn't it?
Yes sir.
Vijay Babu, you have to scout for opportunities. Vijay Babu, you have to scout for opportunities so that you can bring in a change in the frustrated person, in the in the person who is already famished, in the person who is already troubled, who is mentally upset. So you have to scout for opportunities so that he accepts that yes, this is what is the Almighty's desire. I have to accept it. When we do not have what we like, we have to like what we have. Almighty jaha chahunchu se hi hobo. Ame jaha chahunchu honi. Aji ame eti basiche because Almighty wanted it. Aji almost 15-20 minutes late hala because I had a lot of technical issues and I was really doubtful whether I'll be able to join or not. So the life can throw up many possibilities. जोटा कि हमें भाभी नथिबा किंतु हमको नतमस्तक है कि हमें यदि ग्रहण करि नबा then Vijay Babu will definitely become happy, will definitely become distressed एवं जो माने stressful अछन हम तांको सेही कथा कहिबा कि ए सिचुएशन तमे आनी न सिचुएशन भगवान दैत तमे भी आसीनो दुनिया को. It is all God which has brought you here. So please be faithful to God. Please have faith in God. सेति पई गोटे कथा छोटिया कथा कहिबी. Patience, patience. You have to have patience because patience is a bitter tree, but it bears sweet fruits. So patience with family is love. Patience with yourself is confidence. Patience with others is respect. But patience with Almighty is faith. So one has to have faith in the Almighty. कि भगवान तमे जहा करूछो तमे ही जानिछो बट मु तो कि जानिनी सेति पई मनीष और भगवान भीतर गोटे डिफरेंस आमे वर्तमान को देखि कि भविष्यत को माने भविष्यतर परिकल्पना करूछे. We think we see the present and plan the future, but God sees the future and plans the present. भगवान भविष्यत को देखि कि वर्तमान रो संरचना करिसंती. से सीवी रमन कॉलेज पिलाटा जदि अरेस्ट न होइतांता से आजी समुद्र बुकुरे हजि जाइथांता. सी आजी जीवित सुस्थ भले अछि because the Almighty has designed that तू ए हैरान होबो तू जेल जीबो so that you will live. So Vijay Babu, as a scouter, you have to scout positivism, you have to scout for opportunities, you have to scout with positive attitude. You have to tell people that we need to be positive in our attitude. We need to be positive in our thoughts.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. Sir, my question is that how we can overcome the anxiety that is caused in us by others' behavior.
Is it Vijay, madam?
No.
No, sorry.
Introduce yourself.
Ma'am, I'm Pranjal Pandit. I'm a guide and I'm from Kashmir.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your good name? I'm not getting you here in the screen.
Pranjal.
Okay, Pranjal. Okay. Pranjal, yeah, can you please repeat the question?
So my question is that how we can overcome the anxiety that is caused in us by others' behavior, or in other words, we can say by social behavior.
Okay. Did I get your name correct?
Pranjal.
Pranjal. Okay, Pranjal.
JAL.
Okay, Pranjal, you are saying that others are tormenting you. You have to mute yourself I think there is an echo. So Pranjal, you have to forgive the person. If you do not forgive, you will become stressful. So forgive the person not because he or she deserves forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Pranjal, best way is to forgive the person because he or she is causing you unnecessary anxiety, he is causing unnecessary tension. So forgive the person, but you forgive him or her not because he or she deserves forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. If you forgive, you deserve peace, you get peace, and everything is fine. So Pranjal, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I think
Vidhu, any questions, Vidhu?
anybody?
My dear friend Vidhu MISHRA, he is at the register from AIMS. Vidhu, you are in the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Bhubaneswar. You are seeing so many patients every day. Patients are dying before you in COVID, non-COVID. So we would expect a question from you, definitely.
Unmute yourself.
Vidhu, we are not able to hear you.
Unmute yourself.
Unmute and tell.
Yeah. Very good evening, Dilip and all other persons who are attending this one, including Dr. Namita. It was really very, very useful, and definitely Dilip is there. That Dilip name itself always gives perfection in everything. So thank you very much for your lovely talk. Only thing one I want to ask you, stress, definitely everybody is in stress, particularly at this present situation of pandemic and all. The methods of stress resilience, various things during almost 1 hour talk you have told how we'll adjust as per the situation or the mercy of the God, or as per this like one question was asked by Mr. Vijay in his institution and all, we will adjust to the surrounding or the atmosphere. But specifically, if you could kindly share, if time permits or otherwise afterwards, what are the methods of stress resilience? And incidentally, my PhD topic, which I am going to submit my thesis shortly, is stress resilience in workplace amongst managerial personnel in health sector and bank sector. So that's what I am very much interested also. Stress resilience, particularly in point-wise, some points, if it could be elaborated or it can be informed afterwards also, it will be useful. Thank you.
Thank you. Vidhu MISHRA, the registrar from AIMS, Bhubaneswar, who is here and asking the question. Vidhu, yes, it's a very lengthy issue. Correct. Which can be discussed later. But for the benefit of all the participants here, I'll just tell one line. Stress resilience, you can develop that stress resilience basically through our attitude. There has to be an attitudinal change so that we are resilient to everything. There has to be an attitudinal change. We have to, because this pandemic today has thrown open a new normal situation. So we have to accept the new normal situation. So once you accept, once you adopt change, once you adapt yourself to the changes, that 5A, which I mentioned, adopt, adapt, alter, accept, and then I think it was
attitude.
Yeah, all those 5 things constitute attitude. So there has to be an attitudinal change, and once we develop that kind of an attitude, it will make us resilient, and that attitude will take us to the highest altitude.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vidhu. Thank you.
नमस्कार, मैं झारखंड से कुछ कहना चाहूँगा। आज के राष्ट्रीय वेबिनार में बहुत अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन रहा। मैं खासकर डॉक्टर नमिता मैम, काली सर, दिलीप सर को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा कि उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी तरह से स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट पर चर्चा की और हम सभी ने बहुत कुछ सीखा है और पिछले कुछ दिनों से मैं जुड़ा हुआ हूं और बहुत कुछ सीख रहा हूं और आने वाले समय के लिए बहुत बहुत अच्छी बात है। धन्यवाद।
Rajesh ji, you are
जी।
from which place?
फ्रॉम बोकारो, BBMK यूनिवर्सिटी, धनबाद, बीबीए
you.
कॉलेज पिछड़ी बेरमो। बहुत अच्छा रहा आज का। जी जी, बहुत सीखने के
Thank you, Rajesh ji. Thank you, Rajesh ji. Thank you so much.
ओके, थैंक यू।
Hello,
Sir,
sir.
one more request
Hello,
I
sir.
want to make to you.
Hello, sir.
Pranjal.
Hello, sir.
Pranjal.
Yeah, please.
Hello,
Sir,
I myself, Suresh Mishra. A very good evening, sir. And a wonderful program which is going on. And naturally, it will have a great impact to our body, mind, and soul. And sir, my question is that how can we control the emotion which through which we stress comes out?
Suresh, can you please repeat your question? You're basically saying how to control our emotions.
Yes, how to control our emotion through which stress comes out.
That's what I basically discussed during my last 1 hour presentation, that we need to control our emotions. We need to control
Sir.
through a positive attitude.
Sir.
And that's what exactly I said, that why do we turn emotional? We turn emotional because of our mental issues. So we have to give way to rationality. So that emotional, one has to be rational. The emotional quotient has to change. The emotional quotient is also a very important therapy in management today. That is called EQ. And so emotional quotient is basically understanding your own emotion as well as understanding the emotion of the other person. So if you can mute yourself, then I will be better. Otherwise, there is an echo. Please mute. Yes. So emotional quotient has to be developed. So emotional quotient is understanding your own emotion so that you are able to understand the emotion of others. Let's say, Suresh Babu, you are in a very difficult situation. You are stressed, or let's say you are really in a very stressful situation and you do not know how to go about it. But I always say that for every problem, there is a solution. All of us have read the whole story in our childhood, how the crow, collected pebbles, put it in the pot, and the water level rose, and the crow was able to drink it. So the bottom line of the story is that every problem has a solution, provided we think imaginatively. So sometimes we need to think imaginatively in order that we can find out a solution. And let me tell you, Suresh Babu, no lock has been manufactured without a key. So that is the key to every problem, or key to every lock, which needs to identify it. So once we identify the key, we can unlock the problem, we can distress ourselves, and we can control our emotions. Thank you.
Okay,
sir, one more request I want to make.
Yeah, please. Last question, maybe.
Sir, one of my friend is present here. I can't take her name, but she's going through depression, and I want you to give her some ways that she can get out of the depression.
Okay, please. What is the depression due to? Is it because of COVID or something?
No, sir. I think that is because of her family issues. Exactly.
Okay.
I myself don't know the reason because she is not conveying that why is she depressed to anyone. But
Okay, no.
I want, yes, sir. Yeah.
No, please. What's your good name?
Sir,
Pranjal. Am I
yes.
okay?
Yes, sir.
So Pranjal, you have to tell your friend that she has to unbundle her emotions If she is very close to you, let her confide in you what exactly is the problem. And
Sir,
unless he discusses the problem, unless he, if she keeps close to her heart, that will be a loss to her. So she has to, unbundle what exactly is the problem. And once you listen to the problem, I would say you have to listen to the problem. Once you listen to the problem, then you can find out the solution. Yes, it's a family problem. But let me tell you again, you please tell her on my behalf that every problem has a solution. But
sir,
the bottom line is we need to think imaginatively. So you have to help your friend to think imaginatively to tide over their family problem. And unless you tell the problem, okay, you can tell me in private, unless you tell the problem, I cannot prescribe a therapy. So, but my personal feeling is the problem has a solution. Maybe the key is missing. So that lock, she's unable to unlock the problem because she's not able to find the right key. So as a friend, please help her out.
sir, actually, she's present in the class. Sir, actually, she herself is not clear about her problems. That's why is she depressed.
So,
So it's really very weird.
Pranjal, you have to take her for a joyride. Take her to the valleys of Kashmir.
Yes, sir.
She will be totally relaxed.
Yes, exactly,
Ask
sir.
her to do some yoga and pranayam. That will help her to control her thoughts.
True.
And once thoughts are controlled, the actions will be controlled. When the actions are controlled, the habits are controlled. When the habits are controlled, the destiny is controlled. So thought control will help her to control her destiny.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, sir.
I'm sure because of the pandemic, she has not been able to adapt. I repeat, not been able to adapt to the new normal situation. She needs a break. As soon as the unlock starts, she should go for a ride. You should be with her. You should encourage her to tell what exactly is the problem. Maybe in a piece of paper, if you write, what is the problem? I'm not getting concentration. I'm not feeling good. My parents don't love me. I'm not enjoying what I'm doing. So everything has to be jotted down. Once you jot down the problem, on the right side, you find out the solution. What is the problem? Why do you think that your parents are not liking you?
Yes, exactly.
No, I think my parents do not like me because I'm not doing good in studies. Supposing, example. Then, then she has to do well in studies. If she cannot do, let her find out some other avenues where she can excel. Because everybody cannot become Tendulkar or everybody cannot become Lata Mangeshkar. So, God has given talents to everybody. So that inner potential has to be identified.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Pranjal. Yeah.
Okay, the last question from Mrs. Vijay Das.
ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ନମସ୍କାର ମୋର ଗୋଟେ ଥିଲା ପଚାରିବାକୁ ଆପଣ ତ ବହୁତ ବଢିଆ କହିଲେ ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ତ କହିଦବା ଆମେ ବୁଝେଇଦବା ସମସ୍ତେ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେସ୍ ଫ୍ରି ରହନ୍ତୁ କିନ୍ତୁ ଏବେ ଯୋଉ କୋଭିଡ ଟାଇମ ହେଇଛି ବହୁତ ପ୍ୟାରେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ସେମିତି ଏକା ରହୁଛନ୍ତି ପିଲାମାନେ ବାହାରେ ରହୁଛନ୍ତି କାହାକୁ ମାନେ ବାପା ମା ଦେଖୁନାହାନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ ଅଟୋମେଟିକ ଡିପ୍ରେସ ହେଇଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ଆମେ ଯେତେ ବୁଝେଇଲେ ବି ସେମାନେ ବୁଝିବା ପାଇଁ ବି ତାଙ୍କୁ ଶକ୍ତି ବି ପାଉନାହାନ୍ତି କାରଣ ସେମାନେ ଯୋଉ କହନ୍ତିନି ନିର୍ଜନ ଦ୍ୱୀପରେ ନିର୍ବାସିତାର ବିଳାପ ସେଇଭଳିଆ କଣ୍ଡିସନରେ ସେମାନେ ରହୁଛନ୍ତି ତେଣୁ ନ୍ୟାଚୁରାଲି ଡିପ୍ରେସନ ହଉଛି ହିଁ ହଉଛି ଆମେ ଯେତେ ବୁଝେଇଲେ ବି ବୁଝିବା ପାଇଁ ନାହାନ୍ତି କିଛି ଏଇଟାରେ କଣ କେମିତି ଆଉ କରାଯିବ ତ ଯାହାହେଲେ ବି ହବ
ବିଜୟ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଗୋଟେ ଭଲ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନଟା ଉଠେଇଛନ୍ତି ଗୋଟେ ସମ୍ବେଦନଶୀଳ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଛି I think it all concerns all of us. Vijay madam is basically saying that when somebody is taken to the hospital, he or she is incommunicado from the family. But madam, of late what has happened is, of late every COVID hospital has been provided with a help desk so that the family members are able to interact with the patient. unless the patient is in ICU or a ventilator, if the patient is in a normal hospital on hospitalization, he or she can interact with the family members. So that, yes, Vijaya madam, in the first spell, government realized that yes, this kind of an interactive or an interface between the hospital and family or patient and the family reduces lot of stress burden, and for that we have introduced this help desk. So help desk has gone has done phenomenally well. बहुत लोक माने फैमिली मेंबर सहित कथा ही पारुछंती कहि पारुछंती जे मते भल लागुची कि भल लागुनी. नंबर 1. नंबर 2, जदि पेशेंट रे कंडीशन बहुत डिटेरियोरेट करि जाउची और ही और सी गोज टू द वेंटिलेटर, तो वेंटिलेटर रे गले कथा कहया बेले संभव हुएनी, धई सही लागंती लोक माने कथा कहि पारंतेनी. तो सही केसेस रे बेले बेले से माने मेसेज पठे दोचंती जे डॉक्टर को चेंज करो, नल किछि मते अलगा मेडिसिन दियो, नले चिंता माने व्यवस्था करो कोन बेटर करि हबो. तेनु मैडम वर्तमान परिस्थिति रे lot of changes have taken place because this was an unprecedented, unthinkable, unexpected kind of a situation which we had to grapple with. So lot of changes have happened. And madam jota kahile, if some
mute hai gala.
Excuse me, sir. You mute yourself.
Sam mute hai
sorry. So unless we I was just mentioning that unless we tell the patients that what exactly is the problem, so they have not been, basically we have been providing an interface for interaction with the family so that the stress level comes down. Kintu the best possible option is home isolation. Home isolation, somebody having an oxygen saturation level problem, he or she is advised to go to the hospital. And in the hospitals today, because the doctors and the paramedics remain same, the medical infrastructure remains same, but more of patients have come and got admitted in the hospital. So doctors and paramedic attention is not there to the extent possible. I mean, I generally जेतबेले एक्सपेक्ट करछु जे डॉक्टर हमको आसी बेले बेले सब डॉक्टर माने सेतिक अटेंशन बेले बेले देई पारु ना हंती, किंतु समान देखछन्ती ओके पेशेंट रे कंडीशन है हमको इमीडिएटली स्टेरॉइड दियो कि हमको मेडिसिन दियो कि हमको इंजेक्शन दियो, दोस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. पण हमको मध्य टिके धैर्य भी धरिया पड़ो, कारण डॉक्टर माने, नर्सेस माने, पैरामेडिक्स माने भी से माने भी अनेक माने मानसिक प्रेशर भी अच्छा, से माने बहुत pressure अच्छा. I'm not tension, pressure, because every day, every year they have to go to the hospital, they have to stay long in the hospital with masks, with the PPE kit. Condition but madam, it is two-way process. Vijaya madam, आपण most एकमत हेबे जे पेशेंट्स मानको मध्ये रियलाइज करिया पड़िबो जे हमें निजुको हमें निजुको मध्ये नुआ सिचुएशन सहित खाप खाया को पड़िबो. तेणु मु भाबुची बीणा मैडम, तो बीणा मैडम, आई एम वेरी थैंकफुल दैट you have raised a very pertinent question which concerns all of us and which I believe is a problem for all of us.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bina madam ko Raji, happy birthday.
Okay, madam. We wish you a very happy
birthday, madam.
Many happy returns of the day, madam.
Happy birthday, madam.
नमस्कार सर.
से लायंस क्लब रा प्रेसिडेंट, पूरी लायंस क्लब रा.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Now
Today is
we
Happy
went out.
Father's Day also. Today is Happy Father's Day to all fathers.
Yeah. So Parminder ji from Chandigarh. Welcome, madam. Okay. Now we are going to close the program. Now I will request our madam, Ratnaprabha madam, Dr. Ratnaprabha Devi, to Ratnaprabha madam will propose a word of thanks. So prior to that, I just want to share very small things from our side. for our speaker.
Sir, good evening, sir. R.K. Das, sir. Hello.
हाँ, it's दिखाଯିବ but देखो तुम खाली थैंक्स कहिबो ना जल्दी टिके मोबाइल देख
Sir, नमस्कार, sir. Good evening.
just a minute ଯୋଗ ଦେଖୁନ भगवान केते हडल साइज दउछथि हां चला खुल्ला
Outside it is raining heavily. That's what the disruptions are coming.
तो बड़ा देखाउ छै ना अति बड़ा करी भाबु छै ओके बेसी बड़ा कले कोन प्रॉब्लम हो
समस्त बहुत धन्यवाद नमस्कार 2 घंटा समय के जना पड़लानी
एठी आसीबो नै के देखिया हाँ हाँ देखा जी बता ना ना कहबो ना एटा देखिलो थैंक्स कहियो एठी आसी जो भाबु छी देखो खुला this is a small gift from Maharishi College of Natural Law and Odisha State Bharat Scouts and Guides. May I request Mr. Dilip Rautrai to accept virtually.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Accepted.
Sir, namaskar, sir. Good evening.
Accepted with a lot of gratitude.
Thank you.
Sir, namaskar, sir. Good evening, sir.
Now,
Sir, R.K. Das. Hello.
Yes, sir. Ramesh Sirji. Now, it's time to request one of my friend. She is also the friend of Dilip Bhai, Dr. Ratna Devi. Is the head of the department chemistry, Maharishi College. And I request her to extend propose a vote of thanks on behalf of Maharishi College and Odisha State Bharat Scouts and Guides.
Thank you, Namita. Namaskar. Very good evening to everyone present in this webinar. Esteemed President Dr. B.L. Panda, Vice Principal, Maharishi College of Natural Law, esteemed Chief Guest Dr. K.P. MISHRA, National Vice President BSG India and State Chief Commissioner, Odisha State Bharat Scout and Guide. Esteemed Chief Speaker, Mr. Dilip Rautrai, Sir, OST2 Chief Secretary and Special Secretary to Government of Odisha. Respected Convener, Professor Dr. Namita PATTANAIK, Assistant Commissioner, State Bharat Scouts and Guides, Professor in Economics, Maharishi College of Natural Law. Human life is generally full of stress. This pandemic, which has been reigning over world for over a year, has added to the misery of the life. It has not only brought us physical torment, but also given us mental and emotional trauma. I am sure that this webinar has proved to be fruitful in helping us reduce this mental trauma. I feel very privileged to give vote of thanks on behalf of Maharishi College and on behalf of Bharat Scouts and Guides to such eminent personalities. I would like to thank Dr. K.P. MISHRA sir, Chief Guest of the afternoon, patron of this webinar. He is not only our source of inspiration, but also our guiding light in such stressful times. Thank you, sir, so much. I would like to thank and express my deep sense of gratitude to our Chief Speaker, Dilip Rautrai sir, who has given his precious time to enlighten us on how to remain stress-free and attain mental peace. And he has also given importance on positivity. With the positivity will mitigate the stress, and stress always induce depression. So stress decrease our immune system. So during this pandemic, we have to remain stress free, and we have to remain within positive vibes, and we have to ventilate positivity among our neighbors as well as our friends, and we have to ventilate our sorrows and sufferings with our close friends, so that we can be relieved and we can be stress free, and also our immune will be developed and we will be happy. So I would like to thank our Vice Principal, Dr. Vijayalakshmi Panda Madam, without whom this webinar would not have been possible. I would like to thank my colleague, Professor Dr. Namita Pattanaik, convener of this webinar, along with 32 other webinars which have helped us through these tough times. We have all gained immense knowledge about the pandemic as well as about other burning issues. I would like to thank all professors and from different corners of India and abroad. And also, I would like to thank all the professors and staff members of our Maharishi College of Natural Law, Sahid Nagar. Also, I would like to thank all the professionals and volunteers from different fields and the St. John Ambulance and other dignitaries from various corners of India and abroad. Finally, I would like to thank the student participants of Bharat Scouts and Guides and all other universities. The webinar has bestowed upon us various ways to remain stress-free in these tough times. The wise words of our speaker will continue to guide us to keep our mind healthy and to be happy during this tough time. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. And thank you, my friend Namita, who has taken a very good attempt to convince us and to give us and to ventilate us all the things and all the requirements and all the whatever all the knowledges regarding this COVID-19. Thank you, Namita. Thank you all, and thank you all the participants. So thank you so much, sir. Dilip Rautrai, sir. Specifically, I am very much pleased, and I am also very much happy to hear all that what you have told. Everything is practical, and also we are experiencing in our day-to-day life. And we are always with problems, but we don't know how to solve the problems. We are not accepting the problems, or when we are accepting the problems, so that or if there is no solve, so you have to accept the problem. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your wise words.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, nice presentation, sir.
Thank you, Ratna. Everybody writing here in this chat box for feedback. So regarding that, I just want to share something very surprise for all of you.
Sir, nice presentation, sir. Sir, R.K. Das, sir.
Thank you, Daso. Thank you so much.
Namaskar, sir. Namaskar.
Namaskar. अरे दसो आपण राउरकेला अछंती देखछंती
सर सर आपन देखुची मो पुआ देखुची मु देखि हां बहुत भलो आइने आपनकर हां
थैंक यू सो मच
सर यू आर ग्रेट
थैंक यू सो मच
So Anand ji is there? Mr. Anand Kumar Sharma?
पढ़े
I guess, sir. So this is the certificate. I'd like to request our patron to hand over virtually to the one of the senior most robot leader from UP, Anand Kumar Sharma.
Very nice, man.
Thank you, sir. And all of you, you are allowed to receive participation certificate by our patron, because you have devoted your time since for 2 hours, more than 2 hours. So that is enough. So no need of any feedback form. And finally, before closing the program, I would like to get the permission from our patron. Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. And finally,
दिलीप बाबू बहुत बढ़िया कहले. We are grateful to him.
Thank you, Dr. Mishra.
Madam, feedback link again, madam.
गुटे प्रश्न पचारि अछि नमिता, एटा रेकॉर्डिंग हो नथले कि
Yes, sir.
ठीक होला ना?
थैंक यू
हाँ,
सर
close करूँ
It is very valuable presentation. It is
हाँ
recording
सर
रखा दरकार था
हाँ सर ମୁଁ recording ଟା close କରୁଛି. Prior to that, I want to extend
YouTube रे
thanks
छाड़ दो
and
YouTube रे.
yes sir. I just want to extend our gratitude to the God Almighty who has given us a wonderful time with our chief speaker, Mr. Dilip Rautrai. Thank you, sir. Thanks to all the viewers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.